What happens when a scrappy group of colonists decides they're tired of paying taxes without a say? Spoiler alert, a revolution, and not the kind you see on TikTok. Welcome to the story of 1775, the year the spark of revolution ignited a fight for freedom and America began its journey to independence. This is the tale of battles, bold declarations, and a ragtag army, taking on the world's greatest superpower of the time. Let's dive into how it all began. It's the 1760s and 70s. 13 American colonies are thriving, but there's just one problem: Britain. The Crown is treating the colonies like a cash cow, imposing taxes like the infamous Stamp Act and the Townshend Acts, all without letting the colonists have any say in Parliament. The slogan, "No taxation without representation," wasn't just a catchy phrase, it was the battle cry of people who were done with being treated like second-class citizens. Things escalated with the Boston Tea Party in 1773. Colonists, dressed as Mohawk warriors for dramatic effect, dumped 342 chests of British tea into Boston Harbor. Britain responded with the Intolerable Acts, a series of harsh laws designed to punish the colonies. Spoiler alert, it backfired. April 19th, 1775. British troops marched toward Concord, Massachusetts, to seize colonial weapons and arrest rebel leaders. But the colonists had a surprise for them: a network of spies and couriers, including the famous Paul Revere, who rode through the night yelling, "The British are coming." At Lexington, a small band of militiamen stood their ground. No one knows who fired the first shot, but it became known as the shot heard round the world. The British pushed on to Concord, only to face even more resistance from the growing colonial militia. By the end of the day, the British were retreating, suffering heavy losses as colonists fired at them from behind trees, fences, and stone walls. By June 1775, things were heating up. The Second Continental Congress convened in Philadelphia to figure out what to do. Their boldest move? Creating the Continental Army and putting a certain tall, stern Virginian named George Washington in charge. Washington was no stranger to war. He had fought in the French and Indian War, but leading a bunch of farmers and shopkeepers against the most powerful military on earth, that was a whole new challenge. June 17th, 1775. The Battle of Bunker Hill, or technically Breed's Hill, proved the colonists weren't just playing around. British troops charged uphill against colonial defenses, suffering massive casualties. The colonists eventually ran out of ammunition and had to retreat, but the heavy British losses showed that this rebellion was serious business. As one colonial officer famously said, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes." While battles raged, Washington took command of the Continental Army and set his sights on liberating Boston, which was under British occupation. With cannons captured from Fort Ticonderoga, thanks to the daring efforts of Henry Knox, the colonists fortified positions overlooking the city. By March 1776, the British realized they were outmaneuvered and evacuated Boston, marking a major early victory for the revolutionaries. Though 1775 saw the first battles, the colonists weren't officially fighting for independence just yet. Many still hoped for reconciliation with Britain, but by 1776 that hope had all but disappeared. Thomas Paine's pamphlet Common Sense made a compelling case for breaking free, and on July 4th, 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence. The colonies were no longer fighting to fix their relationship with Britain, they were fighting to create a new nation. The events of 1775 set the stage for a long and bloody war that would last until 1783. The colonies faced immense challenges: limited resources, internal divisions, and the daunting task of going toe-to-toe with the British Empire. But what they lacked in resources, they made up for in determination, ingenuity, and a bit of help from foreign allies like France. The year 1775 was the spark that lit the fuse of the American Revolution. It showed the world that the colonies weren't just rebellious. They were capable of standing up to tyranny and fighting for their freedom. The battles of Lexington, Concord, and Bunker Hill became legendary, and the bravery of those early revolutionaries laid the foundation for a nation built on the ideals of liberty and self-determination. The story of 1775 isn't just about battles and muskets, it's about people coming together to fight for what they believed in. It's a reminder that big changes often start with small, courageous acts. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to fire off a like and subscribe. And leave a comment below. What would you do if someone taxed your coffee without asking? Thanks for watching, and remember, history is full of revolutions. Just don't dump tea in your local harbor, okay?